Hello and welcome to Meanwhile, back on the hobby farm. Hey, this is Mighty Mite, the hen that had mites, and I said had because it took 2 weeks, but no more mites. I did the dust, the wood ash dusting bath I gave her. I gave her a couple of DE earth baths, and that pretty well took care of 99.9% of the mites, except she still had them around her eyes. I did put a little bit of DE around her eyes a couple times. That didn't work. So and the advice of a good friend, I put two drops of ivermectin underneath her wings where they meet the back of her shoulder head area. And now we're going on 24 hours, no mites around the eyes. However, if you look closely, her eyes are still closed. This left one flickers a little bit, the right one doesn't open up at all. Not sure why. I did put some antibiotic cream on it last evening, but anyway, because she's on ivermectin, she's not laying, obviously. She doesn't really walk around, but when I pick her up, she flaps her wings. She lets me hold her. She's a good trooper. So, with that said, because she's on ivermectin, she cannot, if she starts laying eggs again, I'm going to wait 10 days after her last dosage, which I gave her a dosage 3 days ago of the ivermectin, and I'm going to give a final one in about 4 more days, and then we'll wait 10 days, and if she starts laying, she's good to go. She is in the hen stable in the basement. She's very thirsty here. What I do is when I work outside, I don't want her being cooped up, no pun intended, inside of a small cage. So I bring her outside. I am working out on the front lawn today, the front area, getting the camper ready for an upcoming camping trip. So I took Mighty Mite out here with me and put a bowl of water. Actually, don't tell DC the cat, but that's DC's water bowl. And she's drinking up a storm. She really can't see because she was missing the bowl. I had to move it a little bit closer to her. But I can be out here for hours. She was not walking around very much. She's half in the sun, half in the shade. If the sun gets too warm for her, all she has to do is walk a little bit, a few feet, and she'll be fine. I think I might put a little grain out here for her too, see if she'll eat. On a sadder note, our other hen that had pasty butt passed away overnight. About 5 days ago, I noticed she was just laying in the corner of the coop, wasn't walking around. So I picked her up, noticed she had the pasty butt. That can be a sign of a number of things, an infection, worms. So I treated her with 2 drops of ivermectin 2 days ago. The last 3 days I've been giving her 15 to 30 minute Epsom salt baths. I put some in a container, and she was such a good trooper. I would sit out at nighttime underneath the canopy and put her up on a little table there and sit her butt right in there, and she didn't move. She enjoyed it. She let me pat her. Then I take her out. I wipe her up, get all that poopy stuff. I was checking to make sure she wasn't egg bound, which she wasn't. Her eyes look good. Her comb looked really good color to it. However, something internally said it was her time to go. But hey, the way I look at it is we tried our best, and that's what Mama Joanne and I do. She's been treating our dog, one of our 6 dogs, with air mites. Took over a week cleaning it a couple times a day, using some drops, wiping it all out, and pretty well wiped that out. So she did a good job on that. Another animal in the hen stable, well, not, she's actually allowed to roam around, and she's doing a lot better, is Betty Rubble, our turkey. Wintertime, she fought a really bad sinus infection. Both her eyes were really swollen, and full of infection. I have her on Tylen, which is a medicine for them, and I give her 2 millimeters of that orally. I put it in a little syringe type thing, a little ball, and it goes down her throat. This afternoon will be day 3 of the medicine, and this morning she was looking great. The swelling's gone down. She actually left the coop on her own. She's out mingling around the paddock with the other animals. Same thing with her, because she's on medicine. I'm not gonna, if she decides to lay some eggs, I'm gonna discard them for 10 days after her last dosage. She hasn't laid eggs in a couple of weeks, so anyway, she's getting better. So 2 really good reports. This one is the 3rd one. Is still pretty good. I mean, hopefully her eyes are going to start opening up again. She doesn't go blind on me. If she does, we will make her own special little coop and let her integrate with some of the other chickens. Not all of them, because chickens have a tendency of pecking to death any other chicken that is weak. And the reason why they do that is because if they're weak, they know it's going to attract prey: fox, weasels, possums, raccoons, and they don't want that, so they will actually kill one of their own if they're too weak. The good news on her is nobody was really picking on her, but she was just laying down. So anyway, gotta get that bee away from her. Doing a little pollination there that the bee will leave her alone. But that's the update on our Henstable patients. We have 103 animals. Somebody made the comment the other day, boy, they're dying off. They're not dying off. You know, if you lose one a month, you know, that's 1%, you know, and, you know, when we all die at one point, I guess. But over here on Meanwhile Back on the Hobby Farm, we do everything in our power to try to preserve life on our critters. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes when they are beyond that point, we have to help them cross over. We're not cruel. We don't want them suffering. But other than her eyes not being open, she's been drinking up a storm here. She's doing better. So, like I said, worst scenario is if she's completely blind. We'll make accommodations for her. It's not like we haven't had special needs chickens in the past. We had black sheep who had scissors beak for almost 5 years and had a special diet. We'd come to the door and peck at it when we forgot to give her special diet at the end of the day. So we prolonged her life for 5 years. So all is good, and look at her drink. That is awesome. I think I'm going to put that bowl inside of her Henstable cage because it's bigger, it's lower, and the other one I have in there, she has a hard time finding it, I guess. Hey folks, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit it. Hey, enjoy your 4th of July. This is one holiday where we can say happy 4th of July. Enjoy it, be safe, stay cool, and if you're in a state like we are, watch out for the Canadian wildfire smoke. It's nasty stuff to be breathing in. Thanks, folks. Have a good day.